Hey guys, my name is Jeffrey Johnson and I'll be doing my presentation on the one and done theory. Here's a little background information on what is considered one and done. But before we get into the rule, I'll give you a little information of how the rule came into play. Before 2005, players such as LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Dwight Howard of the Atlanta Hawks skipped out on going to college by entering the NBA draft after their senior years of high school at just 18 years of age, which was very uncommon for players to do at that time. Well, in 2005, the NBA passed a rule that players entering the NBA draft must be 19 years of age or more than 1 year removed from high school. Since 2006, there has been 92 freshmen selected in the NBA draft. Also since 2006, the University of Kentucky, who is very well known as a basketball powerhouse, has had 18 freshmen selected from the NBA draft, including 4 freshmen that went in the first round of the NBA draft in 2010, which has never been done at any other college today. John Calipari, the men's basketball coach at the University of Kentucky, who is a well-respected coach by some of his peers and known for his great recruiting classes every year, has been subject to much controversy as being a big supporter of freshmen leaving after 1 year of eligibility to enter the NBA draft. He believes that if his player is considered a high lottery pick to pick them, that a player should leave school to go to the NBA so that they can take care of their family. Many of his former players have been very outspoken about how Coach Calipari is a player's coach who does not hold players back from their dreams of playing in the NBA. In 2011, it was reported by the Bleacher Report that over 16.4 million children are living in poverty, and nearly 50% of them will spend more than half of their lives living below the poverty line. The longer the player waits to enter the draft, the more the athlete as well as their family must suffer, and the player might lose out by not taking the chance while being considered a high lottery pick. One great example of a player deciding to leave school after 1 year is Ben McLemore, who is a 6'5" guard from the University of Kansas, who was picked in 7th overall in the 2013 NBA draft and had a very difficult life growing up. McLemore says on any given night, as many as 10 relatives, including siblings, nieces, and nephews, would sleep inside his home, which was smaller than 600 feet. After entering the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings gave McLemore a 4-year, $13 million contract with $13 million guaranteed, along with $3 million salary per year. This is a great example of a player taking advantage of the opportunity to make a better life for himself as well as his family. Another reason that college players decide to leave after 1 year is financial issues. Tom Jernison reported that in an article that in 2016, the NCAA makes about $1 billion per year. College athletics as a whole pulls in about $12 billion annually. With all the money that the NCAA is making, the players do not make any money for their efforts or ability in a billion-dollar industry. The NBA makes annual revenue of roughly $5 billion per year, and it pays most salaries of $2.5 million, with some players like Joe Johnson and Kobe Bryant making as much as $25 million in a calendar year. Many college basketball players understand that the NCAA is looked at more of a business, and players feel that they are being exploited by the NCAA because of them being able to capitalize off their abilities and likeness. Lastly, another reason that players decide to leave early is injuries. When playing sports, it is almost a guarantee that in some form or fashion an injury will occur. As a player, injuries are something that are a part of the game and are unfortunately unavoidable while playing. One player who made a good decision by deciding to come out after his freshman season is Dajuan Wagner. Dajuan Wagner, a point guard at the University of Memphis, was selected 6th overall in the 2002 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. After an injury rattled his first 3 seasons in Cleveland, Wagner sat out the 2005-2006 season after being diagnosed with colitis and had his colon removed. During the recovery process, his weight dropped to 160 pounds, and he ultimately had to retire from the NBA. Wagner appeared in 103 NBA games over the course of his career, the last coming on November 11, 2006. Wagner's contract paid him $7.4 million over the first 3 years of his contract. If Wagner would have chosen to stay in college and come back to ultimately suffer this severe injuries, he may have never even been drafted at all. Another good example of a player leaving early but did not have a great career, and who was not in this PowerPoint, is Greg Oden. Greg Oden decided to leave Ohio State University after one season. He was drafted the number 1 overall pick by the Portland Trail Blazers in 2007 NBA draft. Out of a grand total of 492 games, Oden only played in 82 of them since being drafted in the NBA. In his first game action, he injured his foot just in 13 minutes of action. On December 5th, 2009, he went down with a fractured left patella, which kept him out for the remainder of what could have been a breakout season for him. In an injury related to the patella he fractured in 2009, Oden had another microfracture surgery in November of 2010, one that ended his 2011 season before it could even begin. Oden experienced numerous knee injuries and never fully recovered, which ultimately led to the retirement from the NBA. In conclusion, many freshmen do not have the ability to bring their family out of poverty after one season of college basketball. It is also very difficult for a freshman to pass on making millions of dollars in the NBA or stay in college where athletes receive no money for all the money being made off them. There are non-career threatening injuries as well as career threatening injuries, and as a player you never know when those injuries will happen. But before they do, players at least want to experience playing in the NBA. Questions. How do you guys feel about freshmen leaving college after 1 year to pursue their NBA dream? Would you leave college after 1 year if it puts your family in a better financial situation? Please do tell in your feedback.